Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. So today in my video I thought I would do a little winter glam as I am about to get ready, about to go and see Jumanji. I'm really excited because I watched the first one. I think it was made in like 19 something and it was so amazing. But yeah, normally when the second video does come out, it's normally not as good, but I have heard that this one is just as good, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing it. And yeah, so to start off with, I'm using the MAC Prep and Prime. I literally put like 2.5 little drops on there. Guys, I can't believe how quickly Christmas went by. There's all this planning since around October time when all the things came out, all the Christmas stuff came out in store, and now Christmas is over just because it's one day and that's it. And it's just insane how quickly it all goes. So I do normally go for quite a natural look, so that is what I'm doing today. Just natural, but I have changed up my routine a little bit since the last makeup video I did, so I thought I'd show you guys. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation in 7. I really love this foundation. I just feel like it goes on so nicely and it has such great coverage. Sometimes I put the little iconic drops, I don't know where it is at the moment, illuminating, I think it's illuminating drops in my foundation if I do want a more dewy look, but recently I haven't been using it, I've just been using normal. So with my foundation I do normally go a little bit darker than my skin tone. Foundation that I used to wear was the MAC foundation, and I haven't used that one in so long, but the Charlotte Tilbury one that I'm using now compared to the MAC one, I feel like it is that slightly thicker formula, so it does give me that little bit extra coverage, but I think MAC will always be one of my favorite foundations. I don't like my foundation too dewy if that's the right word, so as you guys have probably noticed in my previous makeup video as well, I do like to blend it in very well, so I do take my quite a long time to push it all into the skin, and then I just get the rest of the foundation on my beauty blender and just go over the lids. Because I have got my hair up, so much hair, I do normally go a little bit more around the back of the neck just so I don't get any visible lines anywhere. Because I don't want my foundation on my lids to crease, I do get, I don't know how to say it, Vichy. It's just a plain setting powder, and then just dab it in to get rid of any creases. It's just so it can set before I apply on my eyeshadow. So next up, for the brows, if I can find it, there's so much stuff everywhere. So for the brows, I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown, I would show you guys, but I've had it for so long because these things last for a long time, which is very good. But all the writing has come off, and then I use kind of a magnifying little mirror just so I can really see what I'm doing with my brows. And because the spoolie has come off, I use an eyelash spoolie instead. It works pretty much the same, but it is just slightly thicker. It's just to brush everything out. What I do like to do, I like to brush the brows upwards so I can really get underneath. And then I am literally just going to outline the brow. And then I do brush it out quite a lot because I don't want any harsh lines anywhere. And then I brush it all down so I can get to the top as well. This looks cute. So brows are done. What I like to do, so I like to get these 2 shades of brown from the Morphe palette just to infill the front. I don't want too harsh lines. And then to tidy up the brows, I like to use the NARS Creamy Concealer in Custard just to go underneath the brow, give it a more outline and more of a defined look. I don't always do this step, so if I am in a rush and I don't have a lot of time, I don't normally do this step, but I just go just underneath the brow. And then I use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Complexion Brush. I just use the end part. I use this part because, as you can see guys, it is really nice and thick and fluffy, and it doesn't take off a product, like it doesn't absorb it, so it keeps the product still there and blends it out really nicely. And then again, to set it, I'm just going to take a little bit of the same setting powder. Okay, so moving on to bronzer. Sorry guys, that light there is super annoying. I've tried to put my mirror in the way, but it still comes through. Anyway, so I have the Hula Hula bronzer, which has lasted me forever, but it has turned into powder. Actually, before I miss a step, I have got the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Airbrush, and it is also in medium. And I do also take, as you can probably tell guys, I do like Charlotte Tilbury. I think this is the contouring brush, but the label's worn away. It's just got the angled edge, which is really good for literally everything. I just like to put a bit of this in the places where I do get slightly oily, so it's just the bridges on my nose, a little bit on the chin, and a bit on my forehead. It's really good for the places that haven't really covered well by the foundation. And then I just bring down some on my nose. Just give this a bit of a shake, so I don't want to dip my whole brush in there. And I just take a little bit from the lid And then I will do the same on the other side. I don't like too much bronzer, but when I do put a bit too much bronzer on, I literally just get Beauty Blender and just dab it out a little bit. And then what I like to do is just to set the face, I get the same setting powder and I get a big fluffy brush. This is from Real Techniques. I think it's called the blush brush, and it's super nice and soft. Just dip it a little bit in there and then just set lightly my face. Now, do I do the eyes next or do I do a bit of blusher? Let's just do blusher. I normally do it any way around, it doesn't really matter. But guys, I am not a makeup artist. This is just the way that I do it. So that's why I'm showing you guys. I literally use this brush for everything. So what I do, I just like to brush off the excess powder from the bronzer and then just to give a few dips. Just kind of push it back so it does blend into the bronzer as well. Otherwise you've got red and then dark, which wouldn't look too good. This is the L'Oreal one, Lip Blush. I've been using this one for ages. I don't normally experiment that much with blushes, so I just normally stick to the same one. And this is the Lip Blush, and it doesn't really say which color it is, but it is a really nice, it's kind of like a rosy pink. So using the same Morphe palette, I'm going to take the nude color and the orange and just mix them together. Sometimes I do use just the orange, but I don't want too much of an orangey look. So to tone it down a bit, I like to use both colors. I'm just taking just a random eyeshadow blending brush. And then I like to get it right into the crease and blend lightly upwards. And then just kind of brush it down the lid. Blend it all in so there's no harsh lines. So I am going natural, so I don't want anything too extravagant. So I'm just doing a really light coat of eyeshadow. So I'm taking the same colours that I did the front of my brow with, so it's the light colour and the dark brown. Oh my gosh, I forgot concealer. And guys, out of all of this, I honestly forgot to add on a bit of concealer, and I think it is too late to do it, but oh my gosh, I've never missed that step before. But yeah, I normally just put a bit on my chin. I'm gonna see if I can do it now. A little bit on the forehead. I was wondering why there wasn't as much coverage as under my eyes as there usually is. And I noticed I didn't put any concealer on. And then I run a bit down my nose. No, I probably messed up my blusher now, but it doesn't matter. Using the same setting powder, just dipping it in. Okay, maybe not too much. Okay, and I'm just gonna let that set for a bit. Okay, so I'm taking the same colors as before and running it on my under eye. Okay, so to finish up the eyes, I just like to get a beauty blender and tidy up the edges a bit because I don't want any harsh lines. And then I like to get the MAC. This is really pretty pink. It's really pretty, shimmery, so nice. And it's called Soft and Gentle. Just like to put a bit on my lip because why not? And then I get a really small brush. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's like an outlining brush. And then just run it down my nose. And then I like to put a bit just in the tear duct, just to make it all glowy. And then just on the arch of the eyebrow, I like to just highlight it a bit with my highlighter. And to blend out my nose a bit, I just use the tip point just to run it up and down so I don't look all crazy with a highlighted nose. Then using the same highlighter, I'm just going to use my fan brush. Highlight a little bit top of the cheeks. I don't run it too close to my cheeks. I don't want my whole cheek highlighted, so I just keep it more towards the back. And then I do blend it down so I don't just have a streak of highlighter. It's just really soft and gentle, as it says. To set the face, I'm going to use the MAC Prep and Prime. This is just the ordinary scent one, but they do lavender and a few other ones as well. I probably use way too many sprays than I should. Now to finish off the face, so for my lips, I'm going to use Sculptured. This is the lip pencil. It's a really pretty pinky color, just by MAC. And then I'm actually gonna get two colors. So the first one I'm gonna use, I haven't found the perfect nude to go with kind of the khaki color, so I'm using Honey Love, which is a really pretty pink. To make it more nudey, I've actually got a really nude color. So I actually bought this individually and I remember wearing it and my nana was like, what is wrong with your lips? It's just creme de nude. My opinion is that it's too pale. It's not a nice nude color for me personally. So to lighten colors up, I do like to add a bit of this color on top. just to make the colour a little bit more creamy. And then I do like to go, ooh, show my eyeshadow. I do like to go back in with the lip liner just to give it more of an outline. And then to finish it off, I have this MAC lip gloss in colour Mystic Powers lip gloss, and it's really nice. It is a pale pink, and I'm not too sure if it's got silver glitter in it or it's a more goldy colour, but I like to just add it as a topper to make it more into a lip gloss rather than lipstick. And I just like to dab a bit on top. It just gives the lip gloss a really nice shine. And there we go. So I turned a lipstick into a lip gloss. Not quite, but yeah. Those are the combinations that I like to use. And yeah, so this is the makeup look. So I hope you guys enjoyed my winter glam, and I will see you in my next video.